Hello and welcome to another video. So in my opinion, a helmet is something that is absolutely important to wear and something that you shouldn't ever try and skimp any kind of money on. You should spend as much money as you can afford on something that's going to protect your skull. You only get one brain and you do not want to be getting any kind of brain injury through not wearing a helmet or wearing a helmet that's insufficient to protect your head. Trek at Manchester reached out and asked me if I wanted a new helmet, and I was like, absolutely yeah. And he had a choice of going for either the Ballista or the one that I picked, which is the Trek Velocis Mips helmet in lavender, haze, pink pearl. And you're all probably thinking, lavender? I'm like, yeah. When I seen the helmet, at first I thought, is that my bag? And then more I looked at it, I was like, absolutely, yeah, it is. So, obviously this is the box. It does come with this bag that you can store it in. And just for the record, I've filmed this video about 4 times. That's why it's not in the bag. But you do get this carry bag in it. Now, I did film this video last week, and it was before I'd actually done a ride in it, and it didn't feel like the right thing to release when I was commenting on a helmet and I've not actually wore it and experienced it and felt what it's like. Now, at weekend just gone, I did a 135-mile ride with Rafa on their Cappuccino 180. I had to do 10 mile down there, 114-mile ride, and then a 10-mile back, and I feel that I've become quite intimate with this helmet. Now, as I was saying, lavender. You're thinking lavender, and I just hope that the colour comes across in this video. If it's not, go into your local Trek store and have a look at it. And I promise you, you'll look at it and you'll be like, wow, that is nice. And it really is. The colour is fantastic. And just in case it's not your bag, it actually comes, I'm just going to look down here so I can read you the names off. So it does come in 4 colours. It comes in a black, a dark aquatic, this lavender, haze, pink pearl. It comes in a red cobra blood, and it also comes in a crystal white. But in my opinion, I really do like this helmet, the colour of it. Out of all of them, this one stood out the most to me. Now, you're thinking it's just a helmet. Now, it is an expensive helmet, let's not beat around the bush, but bear in mind that you're probably going to wear this helmet for the best part of 5 years before you replace it, as long as you don't have a crash. And if you do have a crash, Trek actually offer a 12-month replacement on it. And I'm quite sure if you had a crash after the 12-month, I'm quite sure they'd look after you. But do not quote me on that. But just go into your Trek store, because the people who I've dealt with at Trek have been super nice and super helpful. Now, the helmet itself, it comes in 3 sizes. It comes in a small, which goes from, I am actually going to read off the box. It comes at small, which is 51 to 57 centimeters at 220 grams, a medium, which is 54 to 60 centimeters at 235 grams, and a large at 58 to 63 centimeters at 255 grams. And I feel that this helmet is probably one of the best fitting helmets I've ever had, against my Agilis, what I've got from Gyro. But this one, I think it absolutely takes the win for me. Now, a few features on the helmet is you've got your fastener here, and then you've got here on the side where you normally have to mess around and push them up and down, is it's actually a little clip thing there, and you can just slide it up and down and then lock it into place, and it's got the same on the other side. And it also benefits from, which again gives you that extra close fit, is on the back there's a boa dial, which most of you would have seen on shoes. I didn't know that they actually come on helmets, and this, it just gives you a finer adjustment and obviously saves weight over the standard turn dial that you get on the back of the helmet, and just gives you some micro adjustments so you can get that perfect fit on your head, which gives you that 360 comfort. And as well as the boa dial, you've also got 4 points of adjustment in the back of the helmet, which is a really good feature to have, so you can adjust it to wherever the cup of your head is, you can adjust it up and down so you can get that perfect fit along with the boa. And also as well, for travelling, having this that folds down and you can pack it up nice and flat, so there's no risk of damaging that. I think that's another fantastic feature to have as well. Inside the helmet, it also benefits from having Mips air. So for those of you that don't know what Mips is, the Mips that I've experienced in the past has actually been, the only way I can describe it is that when you have a crash, there's a shell on top of a shell with the helmet on top that slides around. But in this helmet, it's different. It's actually an air system, and I think it's just there to save weight. But it is super comfy. I can't comment on that, and I hope I never have to comment it, because I hope I never actually have to have a crash with this helmet. If you do happen to have a crash in it, you've got the knowledge that obviously Trek will look after you if it's within the 12 months and possibly after the 12 months. But it also benefits from a Virginia Tech 5-star rating. For me personally, knowing that a company like Virginia Tech have actually tested the helmet and done crash tests on it, it just gives me some comfort knowing that it's not going to let me down when I need it at the most. Now, away from all the safety features, it is super comfy, really comfy. And on Saturday when I done this ride, these vents up on the top here, I could actually feel way more wind travelling over my head to keep me cool than any other helmet what I've worn. Which for me, for someone who runs very hot when I'm riding, it was just fantastic. Something that I've never experienced that kind of coolness on a ride before, and I probably think I'm over exaggerating this, but genuinely I do mean it. When I done the ride at weekend, it was brilliant. It was really good. And another thing what I like about it is that when you're in the drop, you can't actually see any of the helmet when you're riding down, and it gives you a good profile when you're wearing your glasses. 1 minute, let me grab my glasses so I can show you the profile against the helmet. So these are my jawbreakers, and as you can see, that profile there is nice. It just sits really well, so when you're in the drops you can't like see over the glasses, which the glasses is doing their thing, and you can't see the helmet. It's just really good. And also another thing what I like on this helmet, now previous helmets what I've worn, when you put your goggles up on your head, the stems that go over your ears, you can actually feel them scraping across the skull, and it's really uncomfortable when you're going up a climb, like I do anyhow. When I'm going up a climb, I always take, if it's a big long climb, I take my glasses off and put them up in my helmet, or if I go into a cafe stop to order a coffee or whatever, again I put them up in my helmet. On this, you've got two little rubberized areas here, and they actually help to hold the glasses in place. And with them extra ventilation up on the top, they've left enough room there where you put the glasses in the helmet and you can't feel them on your head, and as you can see, it just doesn't move anywhere, it just stays there, which it's something that I really do like and I do appreciate having. Another feature what I do like is it's actually got, I don't know if this is the technical term of it, but the skeleton or the chassis of the helmet is actually made from carbon fibre. So you can see it here and around the sides and on the back of the helmet, which does keep it really light. Now, I've actually weighed this helmet and it weighed 261 gram. And that's pretty good, that, considering that they mentioned it weighs 260 gram. And that lightness when you're on a ride, when you're on a long ride anyhow, like I was at weekend, having a helmet that's heavy like my other helmet, my gyro, and I'm not comparing these two because they're in different price brackets, it's just my experience. That one weighed 350 grams and this one, compared to that, you just can't feel any weight at all. When you're on a really long ride, some of you may feel a bit of neck ache, and I mean that could be your position, more than likely it could be your position. However, it can also be the weight of the helmet, because if you're in a position like this, having any extra weight, it adds to the strain on your neck muscles. Some of you all might think I'm talking rubbish here, but for me it makes sense. When I wear my mountain bike helmet, which is really heavy, or when I wear my full face helmet, I can definitely feel it, whereas this, it feels really light, and it's just a pleasure to have on top of my head. So if any of you have got any questions about this helmet, please put them down below, or you can always send me a message over on Instagram. And I would highly recommend that you go into the store and have a look at this colour, because it's just, when you look at it in different lights, it kind of like, it's hard, it won't show up on the camera, but there's like, it looks purple, but then in certain light on certain angles you can see a little flicker of pink coming through there. And especially now we're into autumn and the dark, dreary, cloudy, overcast days are here, having a bit of colour in your kit for me isn't a bad thing. So I'm going to leave the video here. Any questions that you've got, leave them down below, or you can send me a message over on Instagram. And as always, please do consider subscribing. And until next time, ride safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.